Hello, welcome back to Outmouth Labs. My name is Penny and I'm glad you're here. This is part 4 and the final part of our series on coding a shooting gallery in DragonRuby. If you haven't caught the other 3 videos, please go back and give those a watch to catch yourself up. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the finalized code and we're going to start with a quick demo of what it looks like when everything is put together. This includes sound effects, graphics, and some music. So we're going through, it's simple enough. You find the target, you click your mouse and you get a score. After the timer runs out, we'll get what our final score is, and we can restart by clicking to play again. So that's what we're building. Okay. So how did we get there? We got there with this code. You are going to notice some differences from the last video's code right away, I suspect, and we're going to go through it line by line like always. Giving it a moment to save. Rubocop is a little bit slow. That's the code linter. It's thinking about it. There we go. Okay. So we still have our frames per second. We still have our tick. We still have our position. First new thing, we're defining our background music. So you have a comment just letting us know that's what we're doing. We're saying if args.state.tick count. So if the tick count is 0, i.e. if the program just started, then we want to add something to the audio. Args.audio is a container that holds the background music and sounds and other things related to audio in DragonRuby, and we're going to give it a hash. Our hash has an input, which is a path to the file. It's in sounds bgmusic.org. So sounds is just a folder. There it is right there. The gain is the same as volume. 0.8 means we want it to run at 80% volume. And looping means we want it to loop. If it's an .style file, you'll have seamless looping by doing this. Okay, so that's going to have it start playing right away. But we don't want it to play in the menu. So going down to the bottom, and don't worry, I'm going to come back up. We're going to say if it is in game state 1, then the audio BG music is paused. So paused equals true. So it won't play if we're in game state 1. Game state 1 is our menu, which again, you'll see in a minute. Okay, so we've created our audio, we've told it to play, we've told it the volume, and we've told it to pause while in the main menu. args.state.gamestate, so here is our game state equals 1, so it starts in 1, which is our main menu. Then we're going to replace our cursor with our custom graphic, just like before. Hide cursor, create the score, set the score to 0, set the score label to follow the score. We have changed it a little bit, so we've done what's called string interpolation. This is when you add data to a string. In Ruby, you must use double quotes for that. And so we have score, then a hashtag which says, in between these brackets, run code inside of my string, and we've told it to put the score. Pretty simple, otherwise it hasn't changed. Timer, still the same. The only difference is we've done the same thing with string interpolation, double quotes, timer, colon, space, run this code, set the timer to the timer rounded. This is the same as far as how we're ticking down using our positive function. We did add this line, so this sets our game state back to the main menu when the timer hits 0. That's how the game pauses and ends. Background is also new, so we're defining a background. This is just like defining our crosshairs and defining the picture for our coins. It's sprites bg.png. I've moved things around, so our crosshair and our coins are all defined in one place. So all of our pictures are defined in a line, so it's easy to find, and I've added comments. Just to show you, so our coin is just a picture, which was made in Aspirate, and our background is just a picture that was made in Aspirate using the gradient function to make it look a little nicer. Okay? So those are defined. Now we're going to say that we want it to run handle click every frame, so it's looking to see for position and arguments and see what our user did with their mouse. Then we're going to draw things to the screen. Once again, we're going to draw our sprites, which is our background and our crosshair, all the time. We're going to draw our label, score label, and timer label all the time. If we're in the main menu, we're going to pause the music, we're going to set the timer to 0, and we're going to draw another label that says click to play. If we're not in the main menu, if we're in the game state, then we're going to draw our target with our crosshairs always on top. Hopefully that makes sense. So these we draw always. These we only draw if we are in the main game state. Feel free to pause it, look that over again. So again, lastly, This is drawn always, so in our state 1 or our state 2, and this is only in our state 2. Okay, our handle click has not changed very much. We have said if it is in the main menu, set the timer to 10, the score to 0, and then switch it to the game state when you click. Stop processing unless we're in the game state. If we're in the game state, we're going to turn our music back on by setting pause to false, and then just like before, everything else is the same. And then finally, we added args.output.sounds, sounds.shoot.wave. That again is just a audio file that will play every time we click if we're in the game state, and that's that little thumping sound that you heard. Just adds a little bit of realism, a little bit of fun. You can make these sounds any way you'd like. I made them using JFXR, which is a simple sound creator where you just sort of generate random sounds and then tweak them to make them to your liking. And that's it. That is the whole game. 125 lines, including spaces, so really about 75 lines of code for a complete game with music, with sound effects, everything. Pretty snazzy, to be honest. Let's see. Last things I want to point out. I'll go through slowly so that you can see this code if you want to copy it over or you're typing along. And then I will be posting this code in the description so you'll be able to download it as well as the audio files and graphics. Okay, we'll go through. And there's the end of the code. Music was made using 1-Bit Dragon, which is a very simple to use digital audio workstation where you just click where you want notes to be with your different instruments and kind of play with it until you have something that sounds good. I do certainly recommend it. All right, that is it. That is making a game in DragonRuby. I hope this was helpful and interesting, and I certainly hope you'll give DragonRuby a try. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this content has been useful, and thank you so much for watching.